Hope and pray you are doing good during these difficult times. Today, I'm going to share some of the most important things with you. They will help and support you to overcome one of the greatest challenges majority of the students they face in their life, and that is writing a coherent or a compact passage. Before I go into the details and help and support you to write down a compact passage, I would draw your attention towards this picture. If you want to you want to build a brand new home and you are looking for a builder, and I show you the work of somebody and ask you if you are going to hire him, after a bit reflection, your response is going to be definitely no. If I ask you why you are not going to hire him, straight away you are going to tell me that his work is not appealing. There is no symmetry, there is no logical bridge, there is no coherence in his work. Similarly, if this is the work we produce for an examiner or an assessor, and we ask him or her to give good grades, definitely he or she is not going to do so. And the reason is because if the works lacks coherence, if it lacks symmetry, then nobody is going to give us or grant us the good grades. So, dear students, coherence is a logical bridge between words, sentences, and paragraph. If this logical bridge is missing, then the writing does not make any sense. Sometimes it does not leave a good impression. Sometimes it does not make a good impact upon the reader. For example, look at the real sentence is, I write a letter. But if I put it, letter a write I, then it does not make a sense. Why it does not make a sense and does not make a good impression? Because there is no logical bridge between subject and predicate, between subject, verb, and object. If this logical bridge is missing between the sentences, similarly, that passage is not going to make any sense. So in this short video, today I will help and support you to write down a good passage or a coherent or a compact passage. Because remember, coherence is one of the principles of effective communication. In order to write a good passage, remember 4 things. Firstly, you need to make a point in the first opening sentence. In the first sentence, you as a writer make a point or give your idea. Secondly, you give an example from the text. That's why don't always use just keys. You need to have a sound grip on the text because you need to give references and evidences and examples from the text. So at the second level, you will give an example. Thirdly, you need to explain how your example backs up your point of view. And fourthly, you will develop your point of view. I would like to give you an example. For example, in order to construct a good passage, you need to remember P.E.E.D. P stands for point, E stands for example, E stands for explanation, and D, it stands for development. If you are asked to write a passage about any of the poem, I have just included one, here an example. This is one of the most beautiful poems I really love, written by William Davies. It's a layer. It says, was this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. If you are asked to write down a passage about the first 4 lines, and you want to write down a compact passage, then remember P.E.E.D. Point, example, explanation, and development. Let's make a point. The point is, was this life full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. The point is, the poet feels sad about the daily routine people to have in this mechanical world. When he says, what's this life? He feels sad. So your point is, the poet feels sad about the daily routine people to have in this mechanical world. Now we need to give an example from the text. Here is an example. He says life is full of cares because people don't have time to stand beneath the boughs and stare at the beautiful natural phenomena. So if you look at stairs, cares, stand beneath the boughs, I have put them into commas. Why? Because I am giving an example from the existing text or the text under discussion. The third step will be I need to explain this example. And I says this example, it emphasizes how appalled he is at the low quality of life we live in the modern industrial world. We have disconnected ourselves from nature and don't benefit from it. So at the third level, I have explained that example emphasizing how appalled the poet is at the low quality of life. And finally, I need to develop my idea, and I say I think the poet intends it to show that it is not surprising that the modern lifestyle is unpopular. He is implying that we should spare time for ourselves and connect with nature and beauty God has created for our emotional and spiritual well-being. Now, if I put these four, P-E-E-D, look at how it makes a good passage. William Davies feels sad about the daily routine people to have in this mechanical world. He says life is full of cares because people don't have time to stand beneath the boughs and stare at the beautiful natural phenomena. And it emphasizes how appalled he is at the low quality of life we live in the modern industrial world. We have disconnected ourselves from nature and don't benefit from it. And here I develop further the idea. I think the writer intends, or the poet intends, to show that it is not surprising that the modern lifestyle is unpopular. He is implying that we should spare time for ourselves and connect with nature and beauty God has created for our emotional and spiritual well-being. So always remember P-E-E-D, point, example, explanation, and the development. I do hope and pray that you will be able to apply this rule, P-E-E-D, and make your writing a better writing which appeals it to the reader, and you are able to get good grade exams. Wish you very good. Thank you very much.